A very good afternoon to all you wonderful people. Sat Sri Akal ji, Namaste ji. Thank you so much for joining in. आप सब ने अपना कीमती वक्त संडे को निकाल के इस वेबिनार में आज शामिल हुए हैं. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Trishal Rao and I'm the General Manager India for Phoenix Business Advisory. I also want to welcome you all to the new financial year in Australia. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जो फाइनेंशियल ईयर है वो जून जुलाई है. जैसे हमारा जो इंडिया में फाइनेंशियल ईयर है मार्च टू अप्रैल, उनका फाइनेंशियल ईयर जून जुलाई है. तो ये सबसे पहला मंथ है उनके नए साल का, फाइनेंशियल ईयर का. इन दिस फाइनेंशियल ईयर ऑल द न्यू इमिग्रेशन माइग्रेशन पॉलिसीज ऑल्सो विल टेक इफेक्ट. ये जो फाइनेंशियल ईयर है उनका सारे जो नए पॉलिसीज है सारे इफेक्ट लेंगे. तो आई ऑल्सो वेलकम दैट एंड आई प्रॉमिस यू इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ very exciting year ahead, this year. Uh, I also wanted to introduce you to a few key strategic people here today on this webinar. हमारे साथ few लोगों हैं जो आज उन्होंने join किया है. First, I wanted to introduce with the lady Sally, who's our migration partner in Australia. Sally is based out of Brisbane in Queensland. Hi, Sally.
Hello.
Great. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Very good. Thank you.
Great. Also wanted to also introduce you to Andrew, who has joined us here all the way from South Australia. Andrew is the assessment officer for the government of South Australia. He's going to take us through lot of interesting new facts about, the new policies, the new processes that are, coming up as well. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Trishal. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you. तो आज साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया गवर्नमेंट के जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स आज आए हैं यहाँ पे इस वेबिनार में, आपको यही बताना था कि ये हमारे साथ है. यही है वो लोग जो आपके फाइल्स एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, आगे हम इन्हीं के थ्रू बढ़ाएंगे. तो ये वेरी की इंपॉर्टेंट लोग हैं यहाँ पे इस वेबिनार. Before we move ahead, just to take you all through a brief of, what is this webinar all about today. काफी लोग ने पूछा था कि वेबिनार में क्या डिस्कशंस होने वाले हैं. So we will be talking a little bit about Phoenix in this webinar, our company over here, how we've been established over here, some interesting facts and figures. We'll be launching about 3 or 4 polls as well during this course of the webinar. They're very interesting facts. तो हमारे साथ आज करीबन 100 से 150 लोग आज ज्वाइन हुए हैं. हम कुछ पोल्स लॉन्च करेंगे, इससे एंड्रू को भी पता चल जाएगा कि आपके मन में क्या है और उसके हिसाब से वो आगे आपको प्रेजेंटेशन में भी पेश करेंगे as well. Subject to some time, we will also do some question and answers, Q&As as well through this webinar here today. So thank you everyone once again for joining in. Those of you who have just joined in, we welcome you to this interesting webinar as well. So just not talking too much about Phoenix, we just wanted to let all of you know कि हमारा यहाँ पे मोटो क्या है इंडिया में, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में as well. हमारा मोटो ये है कि all our clients get their visa approval. आज तक हमारा एक भी ये नहीं हुआ है रिजेक्शन as well. और हम यही करते हैं कि हमारे सारे क्लाइंट्स को सारे अप्रूवल्स मिल जाए हैं. In case of any rejection, your fees are fully refundable as well. अगर एक भी रिजेक्शन हुआ, हम आपका सारा पैसा वापस दे देते हैं आपको. So we also make sure that there is no rejection, because after the assessment report, we are 100% confident that our teams can take your files through as well. Our other motto in our company is that we make sure that our clients do not lose money after investments in Australia. हमारे जो क्लाइंट्स जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाते हैं, सबसे पहला स्टेज या स्टेप है कि उनको 188A वीजा दिलाना है. लेकिन हमारा जो सबसे मेन काम शुरू हो जाता है जब आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाते हो. So we make sure that you don't lose any money after investment in Australia. So these are some key things that is within our company as well. Wanted to also share with you some numbers as well in all transparency. We've got, almost 103 nominations that have been, approved within the company since, the year last year as well. हमारे 103 nominations सब आगे बढ़ चुके हैं. हमारे करीबन 45 to 50 नॉमिनेशंस अंडर प्रोसेस भी है। सारे ऑफिसेज अभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में खुल रहे हैं और ये जो 45 to 50 नॉमिनेशंस है ये भी आगे बढ़ जाएंगे। काफी हमारे क्लाइंट्स पाइपलाइन में भी है जो इनिशियल स्टेजेस पे है। So just to give you that confidence that we've got so many nominations approved, आपको अगर लगेगा आफ्टर दिस वेबिनार हम आपको कुछ क्लाइंट्स रेफरेंस भी दे सकते हैं अगर आप अपना केस आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं तो you can get direct reference checks and information from them as well. So very interesting. Our first poll हम अभी लॉन्च करेंगे. What sort of business would you like to do in Australia? आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में क्या बिजनेस करना चाहते हो? ये पोल हमने रखा है because a lot of clients asked me this one question that when I go to Australia, what will I do? जब मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाऊंगा तो मैं क्या करूंगा? So are you looking at opening a new business? क्या आप देख रहे हो कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आप नया बिजनेस स्टार्ट करोगे? Are you looking at an existing business acquisition? क्या आप देख रहे हो कि वहां पे जो अच्छा बिजनेस ऑलरेडी प्रोसेस ड्रिवन पीपल ड्रिवन अगर चल रहा है तो आपको वो एग्जिस्टिंग बिजनेस टेक ओवर करना है अगर उसके रिटर्न्स अच्छे हैं? और आर यू आल्सो लुकिंग एट अ सुटेबल बिजनेस फॉर द 188A वीजा व्हिच यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस इन, which is also very important, in fact the most important as well. So I will just quickly launch this poll. You will get around 20 seconds. And you will see a screen right now in front of you. आपके पास 20 सेकंड का टाइम है. Do fill in whatever you feel. आपके मन में जो भी है आप डालिए. एंड्रू को भी पता चल जाएगा कि आपने क्या आंसर्स दिए हैं, उसके हिसाब से वो प्रेजेंट भी करेंगे आपको. So do put in. We have around 10 more seconds to go. While you are filling in this poll, just to let you know that our main focus is to get your assessment done as well, so that we can guide you accordingly as well. Andrew also post a few polls, will be taking us through this presentation while covering some of the interesting facts about real estate. रियल एस्टेट के बारे में कुछ नई चीजें उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया है वो अनाउंस करेंगे उसके बारे में as well. I will just end the poll for everyone right now, and I will share the results right in front of you as well. So as you can see, it's quite interesting, about 33%, said new businesses. So they are looking at new opportunities, in South Australia as well. Around very similar numbers, 34% said that they are looking at existing business acquisition. And that's very fair because काफी लोग जो है, they don't know much about Australia. They've just visited there a couple of times, or they have friends and family there. So they want to first understand, the dynamics of business, and they want to look at, investing in existing business first as well. And of course, a lot of them want to get their visa as soon as possible. So what business or whatever business is suitable for 188 visa, which they have experience in, they basically want to look at that, option as well. So quite interesting facts. Thank you very much, for your time as well. We will just go into the second poll right now. The second poll basically talking about by when you are looking to migrate to Australia. Again, very interesting. काफी लोगों से जब बात हुई थी तो उन्होंने कहा था कि जी मेरे को अभी जाना है ऑस्ट्रेलिया, आप बताओ कैसे जाना है वहां पे. So we put ASAP as well, as soon as possible. 6 months to 12 months and 12 to 18 months as well. I will just launch the second poll right now. You have around 20 seconds again to put in your answers. And let's see if this is again, around 33% for everyone over here. So while you are answering this, आपको यही बताना था कि जैसे मैंने शुरू में कहा था कि आज जो भी साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया के जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स इस वेबिनार में आए हैं हमारे साथ है, आप बिल्कुल टाइम वेस्ट ना कीजिए. आप अपना असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट तैयार करवाइए हमारे साथ. आपका फाइल हमें इन्हीं के पास देना है, इन्हीं को आपका फाइल अप्रूव करना है और इसके बाद हमें एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट के लिए अप्लाई करना है. तो वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. I will just end the poll right now and share the results again with all of you. So yes, so I think a lot of them have also done a little bit of their homework. They know that, they need to sort out a lot of things back home before they go there. And we have around 40% who said within 6 to 12 months or 12 to 18 months, they don't mind going there. And it kind of gels with the current processes, that Australia or South Australia also has from an approval point of view by the time you lodge, your visa as well. Though around 19% said that they want to go there as soon as possible. But post the webinar, we will, help you and see how we can achieve that dream, as well. I will just stop, sharing these results as well. Also, आज सबसे बताना था, सबको बताना था कि that we are announcing a very special offer for all the people who are attending this webinar only today. हम इनिशियल असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट की जो फीस है यूजली $1,500 जो चार्ज करते हैं इंडिया में 75,000 प्लस जीएसटी हम चार्ज करते हैं जब आपका अप्रूवल हो जाता है उसमें हमें हमारे सिडनी टीम से ग्रीन सिग्नल मिल जाता है कि एवरीथिंग इज गुड टू गो यू कैन फाइल हम यूजली एक बिजनेस माइग्रेशन एग्रीमेंट साइन करते हैं और हम एडवांस लेते हैं आपसे बिफोर वी स्टार्ट एनी वर्क however just for you guys for the 100 to 150 people attending today and only for the people who have registered on this webinar, we will be also applying for your expression of interest in the same fees. You don't have to worry. We will get your assessment done as soon as we get a green signal from you, as well as our office in Sydney. We will get your expression done. No questions asked over there. आपका नंबर सबसे पहला हम लगवा देंगे, so you don't have to worry about that if you are interested. So just wanted to make this announcement, as well over here for all of you. We will just go into the last poll, or the second last poll today. What is your main motto to migrate to Australia? आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया माइग्रेट क्यों करना चाहते हो? मेनली आर यू लुकिंग एट बिजनेस एक्सपेंशन? आपको अपना बिजनेस वहां पे बढ़ाना है, आप अपने फैमिली का सिक्योरिटी और सेफ्टी के बारे में देखना है, क्योंकि a lot of people when I ask this question first, when I speak to my clients, I get a lot of answers saying that we are looking at a very secured environment, for our family, for our kids as well. And COVID-19, I have put this top point over here because I also had a lot of clients telling me that, they are not very happy with the current situation of COVID. Either it has affected their families or it's affected their business as well. And they're looking at better prospects, from that point of view as well. So let me just launch this poll for you, which is the third poll today. You will get this right in front of you. You have 20 seconds to answer this poll over here, and we will get the results, just to understand what is the main agenda as well. In the meantime, just to let all of you know that the initial assessment report, जो हम IAR बोलते, is of utmost importance. Initial assessment report जो है, it is like a CT scan. जब मैं डॉक्टर के पास जाता हूँ, डॉक्टर मेरे को देख के कहता है कि यार तू तो फिट लग रहा है, लेकिन only after I get my MRI scan and reports, he can diagnose, the problem and way forward, and take me through what exactly I had come there to achieve. So our initial assessment report is very similar. Once we get your documents, आपके जो documents हमारे पास जब आ जाते हैं, हमारे जो सारे teams हैं वहाँ पे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, हमारे legal team, finance team, accounts team, operations team, ये सारे teams involved हो जाते हैं आपके documents पढ़ने के लिए. ये वही काम करते हैं जो immigration वाले करते हैं, so that there is no stone unturned या कोई questions आगे आएगा नहीं आपके files में. और यही असेसमेंट करने के बाद हम आपको ग्रीन सिग्नल देते हैं कि आप आगे बढ़ सकते हो as well. Assessment is very important. In the meantime, let me also end this poll and share the results with all of you right now so that you will also get a fair idea. So a lot of you are looking at business expansion, and I understand because a lot of clients who are into manufacturing business, mining business, agriculture, import, export, wines as well, are looking at expanding their business and taking it to Australia as a destination to look at opportunities over there. Not very surprising that the highest number of people who have joined us here today, around 53%, are looking at family and safety and security. We are all concerned about our loved ones. We want to work, we want to have a life around a very secured environment as well. We want the future, of our kids to be stable as well. And so family and, safety is of utmost, importance. So like I mentioned, to all of you, that get your initial assessment done through Phoenix. आपका जो assessment है, जैसे मैंने आपको कहा था, हमारी teams assess करके, उसमें आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर आपका assessment negative आया, आपका जो पैसा है 100% refundable है. So you have nothing to lose in that. आपको उससे पता चल जाएगा कि आपके पॉइंट्स कितने बन रहे हैं. पॉइंट्स के हिसाब से आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आप कौन से स्टेट में एलिजिबल हो रहे हो. स्टेट के हिसाब से आपको पता चल जाएगा कि वहां पे मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है, वहां पे जो बिजनेसेस है क्या है, वहां पे जो बिजनेस डायनामिक्स है क्या है, आपको कितना कैपिटल रिक्वायर्ड होगा. तो ये दिस इज कंप्लीट डेटा दैट इज शेयर्ड विद यू एंड प्रेजेंटेड आल्सो टू यू बाय माय टीम्स ओवर हियर इन इंडिया. आपको रियल एस्टेट का वैल्यू पता चल जाएगा. प्लस नॉट ओनली दिस, वी आल्सो हैव अ वन टू वन विद आवर बिजनेस एक्सपर्ट इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया or our vice president investor relations in Australia, who will be able to guide you and show you the right way and the right path ahead as well. So initial assessment report, like I mentioned to you, is of utmost importance, in this process as well. Why Phoenix is so successful? Phoenix आज इतना successful क्यों है? Very simple, because Phoenix only deals with one country and one visa. हम एक ही country के बारे में बात करते हैं, हम एक ही वीजा के बारे में काम करते हैं. हमारी जो टीम है इंडिया में, हमारी जो टीम है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, our biggest strength is our people, over here, and our people are very, very well trained. We give a lot of importance to people. We give a lot of importance to training before we even talk to you as well. The good part of our team is most of our people who are in our organization also have some connect with Australia. हमारे जो लोग हैं, मेजॉरिटी जो लोग हैं, इधर ऑस्ट्रेलियन सिटीजन्स है, ऑस्ट्रेलियन पीआर होल्डर्स है, या कुछ कनेक्शन है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पढ़ चुके हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रह चुके हैं. सो टुडे व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू अबाउट ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज बिकॉज आई हैव लिव्ड इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया माई सेल्फ, फॉर 4 to 5 years. And it is nothing that I'm reading out of the books or going online and talking to you and trying to convince you to go there. It is all through sheer experience, whether it is education, whether it is cost of living, whether it is business, as well. We don't deal in any other country. We deal with only Australia and only one visa. So this is our biggest strengths as well, just for you to know as well. BIIP 188 visa is a top priority as well. So BIIP, which is Business Innovation and Investor Program as well. उनकी जो top priority है is of 188, क्योंकि सबसे पहले कि आप वहां पे जाओगे, इन्वेस्ट करोगे, उनकी इकोनॉमी बढ़ेगी. आप वहां पे जाओगे, जॉब्स दोगे, उनकी जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट है बढ़ेगी. तो सबसे पहला जो ट्रैवल बैन एग्जेम्पशन है, ये आप ही के लिए है as well. So only residents of Australia, citizens of Australia, and also people who have got their 188A visa, they have a travel ban experience exemption as well. उन्होंने also अपना कोटा increase किया है. लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में करीबन, लास्ट टू लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में करीबन 3,500 का कोटा था, उन्होंने 13,500 तक बढ़ा दिया है. हमें ये भी इनसाइड इंफॉर्मेशन है कि ये थोड़ा सा और बढ़ाएंगे ये साल as well. वो सबसे ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी प्रोसेसिंग 188 वीजा को देते हैं यहाँ पे, और उनका लॉन्ग टर्म कमिटमेंट भी है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया जानते हैं वो फ्लेक्सिबल है कि कोविड-19 के वजह से काफी चीजें रुक गए हैं, काफी बिजनेसेस भी अफेक्ट हो चुके हैं. So they give you a lot of flexibility, transparency, as long as you are also transparent, with the authorities and the government, as well. So that is something that I wanted to, also let all of you know. Phoenix in the news, please do visit us, on our marketing handles, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channels as well. You will do subscribe to us. You will get a lot of information, a lot of videos that you can follow. You can keep yourself up to date with all the programs. We've also been listed on a lot of key channels like Forbes, which we talk to our clients with a lot of pride. We are very proud about this as well. And you will see a lot of other channels that we have been listed on, as well. So not taking much time, I will pass on the screen right now to Andrew to share a screen. Thank you very much for hearing us, Andrew, as well. And I would like Andrew to take over from here. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, firstly, to Phoenix Business Advisory for the invitation to present today. It's a great pleasure to join you this afternoon on a Sunday afternoon, and also I'd just like to thank all your viewers, so the 130 or 140 people that are here. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us this afternoon. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday afternoon, and I'll just take you through why I think you should come invest in South Australia. I'll just run you a brief overview of the program, and I'll also take you through our new requirements because we have recently opened. So today I'll just be covering what is business migration, just a basic visa summary, and which business visa nominations we have available. I'll just give you some historical stats to show how, as a state, our program has grown significantly, especially over the last 5 years. Just some information on clients, promotion and engagement. So what kind of engagement we do with our clients. And obviously, at the end of today's presentation, I'm happy to take questions. So firstly, I'll just give you a brief overview about what skilled and business migration do. So obviously, as the state, we don't grant the visas. However, within business migration, you do have to go through state nomination to receive a visa from the federal government. So obviously, South Australian government, myself, we do the nomination side of things. So, just as an overview, we deal with skilled visas. So that's the general skilled migration visas, employer-sponsored visas. But obviously, what I'm here to talk to you about is business migration visa. So you may have, other family members who are looking for skilled migration pathway. That's opened as well currently. Obviously, the federal government, they do with all sorts of other visas. So you've got the family visas, humanitarian visas, and all sorts of other visas that they deal with. Ultimately, they grant the visas, and we are involved in the nomination process. So basically, our program, we aim to inject capital into Australia's economic development, and we want to absorb the skills and experience of entrepreneurs from around the world, and we want to further strengthen international cooperation and development. We want to bring further investment and skills to Australia through the migration program. We want to introduce successful business people to South Australia. We like to showcase our state. Obviously, with business migration, we have to compete not only if you're a state of South Australia, you have to compete with other states, but Australia has to compete with other countries all over the world for the pool of business people. We've been involved in this business migration program for the past 20 years, but as stated earlier, the last 5 years we've probably had a huge growth.
Hi, Andrew, sorry to interrupt. We just have a few clients who have put it on the chat that they are unable, their voice is a little unclear. So maybe a little and a little slower so that, they can take it. They can hear it.
Of course.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yep.
No worries.
No, you're okay. Thank you. So all business migration applications, they will need to go through the state nomination program. So in essence, you come through South Australia to receive the nomination, and then you can submit the visa application to the federal government, which is the Department of Home Affairs in Australia. The Department of Home Affairs, they will decide, obviously, whether to grant the visa or not. And currently, the business migration visa, so the Australian government now solely, we only deal with the 188 visa. This is now a current valid visa for 5 years, and, there will be options possibly for extension of that visa. So exciting news, we are now open. So the South Australian government, we opened our program this week. We opened it on Tuesday. So we are currently open. Below are the assessment dates. So we'll be assessing the round 1 applications in mainly early August to the end of September. And then, each quarter, so October to December, January to March, and May to June. So we're hoping to evenly distribute our program so we can stay open for the full financial year. I guess, one important notice, previously we've had an intention to apply program, which was kind of a two-step process, which required agents and clients to submit an intention to apply, and then to submit a state nomination application afterwards. We have taken away the intention to apply, so applications can be submitted straight through our online application system, which can be done any time at the moment. So this is just a bit of an overview or a graph of our process. So of course, the first thing you would need to do is apply for a state nomination application, and you will need to have an expression of interest for that. If you are approved by the state government, then you are asked to submit a visa application. So you usually have 60 days to submit that visa application. And then once that's done, you can lodge your application with the Department of Home Affairs, and the Department of Home Affairs will make that visa decision. So it is exciting that the federal government are priority processing 188 visas now. So the processing times at the federal government level are quite quicker than they used to be. And in terms of the nomination process, we're usually hopeful to finalise the nomination process between 2 and 4 weeks. So here's a summary of the visas that we deal with. So we've got the 188A, which is the business innovation visa that will require you to run a business in South Australia for a minimum of 2 years. We have the provisional 188B investor visa. So that's it's an investment visa. I'll take you through the requirements soon. And then there's also the significant investor visa, which requires a higher level of investment. And I haven't put in the slide the entrepreneur visa because that's a new visa. It's got new requirements, but we currently have not opened the 188 entrepreneur visa, and we are hoping to open that at some stage during the month of August. So basically, these are just a brief overview of some of the requirements. I'll go into each visa subclass in a second, but there'll be so there's could be varies. You may want to choose to employ full-time equivalent employees in the state. You may wish to export products. So we've got a vast variety of products in South Australia, whether it's wheat, agricultural products, wine, fruit, vegetables, dairy. We've got so much available products to export. You also got the option to inject into an existing or new South Australian business. And the amounts will depend on each kind of visa subclass, possibly the age and the region of the business. So currently, our visa holders are doing a vast variety of business. Obviously, exporting is a very popular model used at the moment. And also, I'd like to say that property development has certainly grown, given our requirements that we changed a few years ago. So I've just drawn up a quick table for the new 1A requirements. So these are the new requirements for the current program year that we just begun. So we've got three different ways of meeting the requirements. So one possibility is to invest and employ. So what that requires would be for someone under the age of 55 to invest $300,000 into a South Australian business, a new or existing one, and to employ 3 full-time equivalent employees. So for the purpose of our assessment, full-time equivalent is 30 hours a week. Obviously, this is for under 55 years of age. If, an applicant is over the age of 55, they can still apply, except obviously the requirement will be, a bit higher, which you can see on the right-hand side. Property development. So we, in metropolitan Adelaide, our requirement is a $1.5 million investment. In a regional area of South Australia, 1.2 million. Again, if you are, over the age of 55, the requirement's a bit higher. The export purchase value, so the requirement is 750,000 Australian dollars to 1.25 million Australian dollars. So just a quick explanation, the reason these requirements are like this, the $750,000 would be if you exported 3 different kind of products. If you decided to choose just solely one product, then the requirement is $1.25 million. So that's just the differences there. But yeah, and obviously the requirements age for a 55-year-old client is a bit higher. The 188B requirements. This is an investor visa. It's recently changed, so now the requirement is to make a 2.5 million Australian dollar investment, and that's into a compliant investment fund as defined by the federal government. The investment that you make, which is compliant, must benefit South Australia. So that could be just, for example, you receiving a letter from the fund stating how they have already invested in South Australia, so we can receive some sort of benefit. And the 188C requirements are, the investments are a bit higher for that one. It's a $5 million investment into a compliant investment fund, and again, it must obviously benefit the state of South Australia. I guess the difference between the 2 visas is probably the residential requirement, because the 188C visa, obviously, has a lot lower residency requirement in Australia than the 188B. So, other benefits for the BIP program, the business program, is, probably the biggest one is you open your new export markets and for yourself and for South Australian businesses. We currently deal with at least 140 South Australian companies that do business with business clients. In the future, we are going to try to make it easier for clients to deal with business migration clients like yourselves, because we'll be setting up a website where you'll be able to have the opportunity to contact businesses direct, and that will be by simply logging into the website. And businesses that already have experience with export, property development, investment, you'll be able to contact direct and ask what you're interested to, and they'll already be ready to do business with yourselves. We basically we used to do a lot of visits overseas, but obviously that stopped with the coronavirus. But we're happy to promote ourselves through webinars. We have probably the last few years we've had a lot of migration agents. They have open offices in South Australia, employ local staff, and that obviously helps support clients as well. And then we have a larger amount of projects commenced in the state due to a lot of business migration clients coming to the state. I'd also like to say, we do want everyone to succeed in the state, so we do meet with our clients when they arrive into South Australia, and we will meet with you during your time in South Australia. We're always open to help. If you have any questions, we can put you through to the right people. We really want everyone to succeed in the state and do successful business in South Australia. So this is a brief chart of how we have grown. You can see probably, from 2012, we're quite small, and year by year we've grown. I can, tell you in the last program year, which will be the 2020 and 21 financial year, we, exceeded that 780. We were close to 1,000 nominations. So, we're going to have a lot of, it's a very popular program, and we have a lot of clients come to South Australia that want to do business. So, we're really excited, see more of you come in the next few years. This is a quick background of where our where our clients have come from. I can tell you in the last financial year, so this won't be on this slide, but we've had a lot of clients from Bangladesh. We've had a lot of clients from India. We've had a huge increase from that part of the world. So we are really excited to hope to see more of you come to our program. So, this is how we engage. So we do engagement with migration agents who are onshore and also offshore. We do, appointment services. This is what I explained. We'll meet with clients when they arrive in South Australia. We also meet with the clients every 6 months. So whether, it's an existing 132 client, or if it's a new 188 client who will come to South Australia, we'll meet you every 6 months to see your tracking and to see how your business is doing. We do hold some trade and investment showcase events. So that will in essence mean that we'll set up an event where all different kinds of suppliers might come. So you can taste their products, you can see their products, and you can make contact with them directly for when you want to start business in South Australia. We have a lot of other events in South Australia, and the Exploratory Visits. So that's basically our meetings with the clients and meeting with agents. So this is a picture of one of our events we held a few years ago. We like to hold a few of these events every year. So as you can see, there's a lot of people, a lot of producers come here. It's just so much easier for you to make contact with these people and get their details and start doing business with them, because they all want investment into their companies. Now, I noticed a lot of you in the poll, looked at, you want to move here for safety, for health reasons. We were recently voted, so it was this year, we were voted the 3rd most livable city in the world, which is very exciting. We were in fact voted the most livable city in Australia. We have a very affordable housing. It's an affordable city. We've dealt with COVID-19, brilliantly. We have great education. So this is the University of Adelaide. So we have great education for, your children. If you want to bring your children to South Australia, we have great schools, very affordable city. And there's lots of opportunities for investment projects. So, you may wish to just meet the benefits of state requirements when you arrive, but once you're settled and you live in South Australia, you may wish to invest in different projects in the future. We work with different government agencies to put you in contact with any of these projects you wish to invest into. So whether it's, investing into solar or investing into companies, greenhouses, there's a lot of investment opportunities for you in South Australia. So thank you very much for listening to me today. If you have any questions, obviously we'll have opportunities at the end of the session, but if you can't think of anything now, our email address is on the slide. Email us anytime. Myself or one of my team members will be in touch with you. And obviously our website is there for any, if you need information from a website which has all the requirements on there. So thank you very much for taking the time to listening to me, and I look forward to answering your questions later.
Well, thank you so much, Andrew. काफी लोग को ठीक से सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था. However, please do not worry. We will end of this session between today and tomorrow. My teams will personally connect with you. हमारे जो teams है आपके साथ personally connect करेंगे. आपके जो भी questions है हम answer करेंगे. Plus ये जो webinar का जो recording है हम आपके साथ वो recording भी share करेंगे. तो recording share करने के बाद अगर आपके पास कोई भी questions हो तो please raise them to us and we will let you know. Some very interesting facts just to recap. From this presentation that you gave, because हमारे काफी clients जो है, we had a few clients who were about the age of 55 and they were worried that I won't be able to go there anymore. I've lost on the age point of view. However, the good news is कि 55 के एज लिमिट के ऊपर भी साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं आपके नॉमिनेशंस. इन्वेस्टमेंट क्राइटेरियाज थोड़े से ज्यादा है, बट इन द लॉन्ग टर्म यू विल अचीव योर ड्रीम ऑफ एक्चुअली गोइंग देयर. काफी लोग के वहाँ पे बच्चे हैं, फैमिलीज है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट दे वांट टू हेड देयर, बट दे वर नॉट श्योर if they could go. So that was a very key takeaway which I saw from here. Another key takeaway which I saw that you have three options. One is the normal 188A option from an investment point of view, जहाँ पे आप business में invest कर सकते हो. दूसरा property development का भी option है, जिसके बारे में हम आपके साथ real estate के बारे में we will talk to you as well. कि वहाँ पे आप property जो है वहाँ पे आप लैंड खरीद सकते हो, वहाँ पे आप स्ट्रक्चर खड़ा करके वहाँ पे बेच सकते हो और अपना पीआर अचीव कर सकते हो. और थर्ड ऑप्शन था एक्सपोर्ट, इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट एक्सपोर्ट एज वेल. वहाँ पे थर्ड ऑप्शन भी था. जस्ट टू लेट ऑल आवर क्लाइंट्स आल्सो नो फ्रॉम अ प्रोसेस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, जो एंड्रू ने एक्सप्लेन किया था 188 जो बिजनेस इनोवेशन स्ट्रीम है, क्योंकि ये हमारे ऑलमोस्ट 90-95% के जो क्लाइंट्स हैं ये स्ट्रीम में आते हैं 188A, और हमारे कुछ 5 to 10% है जो 188B या 188C में जाते हैं, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टमेंट्स थोड़ा ज्यादा है वहाँ पे. सो 188A में है, जैसे मैंने इनिशियली कहा था कि इनिशियल असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट करने के बाद, आपको ये जानने के बाद कि आपके पॉइंट्स, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कितने बन रहे हैं वहाँ पे, उसके बाद हम डायरेक्टली आपके EOI, which is the expression of interest, we will lodge it. ये expression of interest जो है उनके जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है उनके पास जाती है, वो आपके डॉक्यूमेंट्स चेक करते हैं, जो हमने ऑलरेडी चेक किया हुआ है यहाँ पे एज वेल. और उसके बाद आपका स्टेट नॉमिनेशन आ जाता है 30 दिनों के अंदर, और फिर आप वीजा के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हो. वहाँ पे करीबन 12 से 18 महीना लगते वीजा आने के लिए as well. So these were some very key takeaways which I saw in this presentation as well. Just a little bit more add to South Australia as well, आपको बताने के लिए कि वहाँ पे stability काफी है. जैसे एंड्रू ने कहा था कि it has been voted about from the top place to stay, from a most livable state to stay in the world as well. वहाँ पे जो टैक्स के लॉज है काफी फेवरेबल है, वहाँ पे जो कैश फ्लोज है काफी फेवरेबल है एज वेल. वो आपके और हमारे उनके रेजिडेंट्स के लिए काफी चीजें वहाँ पे करते हैं एज वेल. एडलेड में जो पॉपुलेशन है करीबन 13.5 लाख के ऊपर थोड़ा सा है वहाँ पे. ऑल्सो एडलेड में जो क्लाइमेट है, so in the winters as of today, if you see the temperatures as well, it ranges between 12 to 15-16 degrees during the winter time. Summers are very pleasant, between 25 to 35 degrees. It ranges between them as well. So climate is very pleasant. From a cost of living point of view, also just to let our clients know that compared to some of the larger cities like Melbourne, Sydney, the cost of living over there is much lower than those. You can look at almost 15 to 18% lesser than these cities as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew. This is some of the information that also I have. And this is one question that a lot of people ask us, that what is the cost of living in Adelaide, or what's the cost of living in South Australia compared to, Sydney or Melbourne as well, because that is also a key factor, for them to take into account as well.
Yep. Yeah. I would like to actually summarize.
Yeah, go ahead, Karthik.
सभी के लिए summarize करना चाह रहा था कि actually property development जो सभी लोग सोच के आए हैं इस वेबिनार को देखने के लिए, सभी लोग ये भी समझना चाहते हैं कि 188A की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है. सब लोग ये भी देखना चाह रहे हैं कि अगर वो बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं या फिर वो रियल एस्टेट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं तो क्या डिफरेंस है, और 55 साल से ज्यादा की एज वाले लोग कितना इन्वेस्ट करें जिससे कि उनको इस चीज की पीआर मिल जाए. ठीक है. सबसे पहली बात, 188A सबसे पहले शुरू में $6 लाख का इन्वेस्टमेंट था, लेकिन बैक इन द डे साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया इकलौती ऐसी स्टेट थी जिसमें रियल एस्टेट का आप इन्वेस्ट करके अपनी पीआर ले सकते हैं. There was no other state in Australia who was given up property development, right? So South Australia is only state in which you can like apply for a real estate, a property development proposal, and at the end of the day, you can get the nomination from them. And correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew is there as well, right? तो सबसे पहली बात है कि जितने भी रियल एस्टेट वाले इंडिया में हैं, जितने भी बिल्डर्स हैं यहाँ पे, और जिन जिन लोगों को मालूम है कि ये लो रिस्क और सेफ इन्वेस्टमेंट है, ठीक है, तो वो सभी लोग रियल एस्टेट में जाना चाहते हैं। इस चीज के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट है $1.5 मिलियन साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मतलब एडिलेड के अंदर, $1.2 मिलियन बाकी रीजनल साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। जगह नॉर्मली माउंट गैम्बियर है, पोर्ट लिंकन है, काफी और जगह भी हैं जो कि एडिलेड के बाहर है। वहां पे आप $1.2 मिलियन, तकरीबन 5 से 6 करोड़ रुपए का इन्वेस्टमेंट करके अपना पीआर ले सकते हैं तकरीबन 3 साल के बाद। सेकेंडली द थिंग इज, जो 55 साल से ज्यादा के एज के हैं, वो तकरीबन $1.5 मिलियन, मतलब तकरीबन 7.5 करोड़ के ऊपर इन्वेस्टमेंट करने से, वो 3 साल में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है कम से कम, या फिर आपके पास 5 साल में, जिसमें आप 2 साल का एक्सटेंशन भी बाद में जाके ले सकते हैं। और उस चीज को प्रॉपर्टी डेवलपमेंट करने के बाद में यू कैन हैव अ गोइंग कंसर्न इन द बिजनेस एंड यू कैन साइड बाय साइड हैव द पीआर ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया एज वेल, राइट? thirdly the thing is, पहले साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में एक्सप्लोरेटरी विजिट होना जरूरी था। आपको साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाना पड़ता था, या फिर अगर आप लास्ट 2 साल में साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए हैं तभी आप साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया नॉमिनेशन के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। अदरवाइज South Australia was not happy to give the nominations if you have not visited South Australia, right? But right now South Australia government ने ये चीज हटा दी है, जिससे कि हम नॉर्मली एक एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट के साथ में स्टेट नॉमिनेशन एप्लीकेशन कर सकते हैं। अगर आप एलिजिबल हैं इस वीजा के लिए, जो कि आप हमारे इनिशियल असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट में से चेक करवा सकते हैं, तो प्लीज आई विल रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन हु इज लुकिंग, जो कि रियल एस्टेट में इन्वेस्ट करके बिजनेस में जाना चाहता है ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जो चाहता है कि मैं इसी अपने बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू रखूं, जो इंडिया में रियल एस्टेट है, बिल्डर है, वो चाहता है कि मैं वहां पे जाके रियल एस्टेट वाली चीज को करूं, वहां पे जाके प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाऊं, देन डेफिनेटली साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज द स्टेट फॉर यू। देयर इज नथिंग else, there is no other state where you can go and you can apply for property development, which is very hard, right? So this is the thing. Apply for an initial assessment report, and I will ask Trishal to explain a little bit about the 188B as well, because we have covered that bit last time as well, so he can also explain that bit.
Yes.
Yeah. And also side by side, if we have any other questions that we have received in Q&A from the clients, because everyone went a little bit confused because of the explanation, right? The export thing, and then there was a lot of questions. So we can go ahead with the questions after you explain the 188B.
Yeah. Sorry, Andrew, you were saying something?
No. Do you want me to explain the export, or do you want me to just wait until you speak now? You want to explain the investor visa?
Yes. So we'll just finish the last couple of slides, and then we will directly go into the 188B and also the Q&A section as well.
Sure.
Okay,
Yep.
great. So in all fairness, I also saw on the chat, and also while speaking to a lot of clients, a lot of them said that it's become a little tough now. The government of Australia has increased the qualification criteria, and a lot of states have also increased the investment criteria, like we also saw in the 188 B criteria as well. So just wanted to let people know that the current norms, the main reason was that it was there for a very long time, and it was high time that the government felt that this needs to change as well. Also, on a brighter side, if you look at it, though it is the highest norms and highest criterias in one of the countries in the world, yes, yet it is also the highest demand, Australia being one of the highest demand for business migration in the world. So that talks a lot कि वहाँ पे criterias high है, investment criterias high है, लेकिन दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा demand भी वही country में है, और ये भी एक reason है कि उन्होंने क्यों इसको increase किया हुआ है as well. Just a little bit about Australia, like I was talking to you in regards to Australia being the #1 destination for millionaire migration. So I'll just quickly skip this slide, what we were talking about as well. वहाँ पे मेन रीजंस व्हाई पीपल आर लुकिंग एट रिलोकेटिंग टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया, उनके इकोनॉमी के बारे में अगर बात करें तो पिछले 30 साल से वहाँ पे कोई रिसेशन नहीं हुआ है। काफी मिलियनर्स जो है, प्रोवन मिलियनर्स जो है दुनिया में, वहाँ पे जा रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। इंडिया के लिए थोड़ा सा नया है, 2-3 साल से अभी काफी लोग वहाँ पे जाने लगे हैं और हम उनको असिस्ट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हम वही एक ही कंट्री कर रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया, और वही 188 बिजनेस वीजा जो है वही कर रहे हैं as well. Grow your business, fast and faster as well. वहाँ पे जो प्रॉपर्टी वैल्यू है, उन्होंने इंटरेस्ट रेट्स काफी कम किए हैं वहाँ पे, करीबन 1.8 1.9% जो है उन्होंने गिरा दिया। तो काफी लोग वहाँ पे रियल एस्टेट में पैसे डाल रहे हैं, वहाँ पे पैसे बना रहे हैं वहाँ पे एज वेल। मोस्ट एंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली, जैसे हमने पोल्स में देखा था कि वहाँ पे क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ काफी बढ़िया है। द एयर विच यू ब्रीथ, द सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी, उनका जो हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम है, एक बार आपका परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी या पीआर आ जाएगा तो आपके मेडिकल्स भी वहाँ पे बिल्कुल फ्री है फैमिली के लिए, जो भी पीआर होल्डर्स है वहाँ पे। सो दे टेक केयर ऑफ देयर सिटीजंस एंड रेजिडेंट्स एज वेल। एंड एजुकेशन एक्सीलेंस, जैसे मैंने कहा था, वहाँ पे काफी बढ़िया है। दुनिया के टॉप यूनिवर्सिटीज भी वहाँ पे है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में। सो फ्रॉम एजुकेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू एज वेल, वेरी फेमस। जस्ट अ क्विक गो थ्रू ऑन दिस। आपको कोई भी अगर इंफॉर्मेशन लगेगा, जैसे मैंने कहा था कि मेरी टीम्स जो है इसके बारे में आपसे बात करेंगे एज वेल। Just on the final slides, from a basic timeline perspective, काफी लोगों ने पूछा कि इसका टाइमलाइन क्या है, प्रोसेस क्या है। तो सबसे पहला स्टेज है, जैसे मैंने आपको कहा था, कि आप अपना इनिशियल असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट तैयार कर दीजिए, आपके डॉक्यूमेंट्स भेज दीजिए। मेरी जो टीम है 7 दिन के अंदर वो आपको प्रेजेंट करेंगे कि आपके असेसमेंट कैसा है। आपको एक स्ट्रेटेजिक डायरेक्शन मिल जाएगा कि मेरे को अभी आगे बढ़ के क्या करना है। नहीं तो काफी questions रहेंगे and all information will be very generic, as well. So if you made up your mind that this is what I'm looking at, we can help you. IAR में भी जैसे मैंने कहा था, it is fully refundable if you do not qualify, as well. जो स्टेज 2 है, जैसे मैंने कहा था, अलग अलग स्टेट्स के अलग अलग नॉर्म्स रहते हैं वहाँ पे। लेकिन जैसे ही हमने कहा था कि IAR के साथ हम आपका एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट भी लॉन्च करेंगे उसके साथ, और फिर 30 दिन के अंदर आपको इंफॉर्मेशन आ जाएगा डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट कि आप वीजा के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हो कि नहीं। स्टेज 3 में हम आपका जो है, आपका अप्रूवल ऑफ नॉमिनेशन जो आ जाएगा, और फिर स्टेज 4 में आपका वीजा लॉन्च हो जाएगा। तो आप करीबन 3 महीने का टाइम है। अगर आपने आज स्टार्ट किया आपका प्रोसेस इनिशियल असेसमेंट का, तो 2 महीने के अंदर या 3 महीने के अंदर आपका वीजा फाइल हो जाएगा। वीजा फाइल होने के बाद आप करीबन 12 से 18 महीने का टाइम ले लीजिए इस पे as well. So yeah, so this is what it is. Just before we wind up, just would like to launch the last poll for all our viewers here today. Would you like to submit an initial assessment report and expression of interest to the government of South Australia within the next 10 days? So very interesting question over here, and let me launch this for you as well. After what we've heard and what we've seen today, it's just a yes or no answer. And here we go. Yeah, so we have about 10 more seconds. Great. Great. So around 63% out of these 100 or 150 clients said that yes, they would like to submit an IR or an initial assessment and lodge their EOI as well, because like I said, this will give them a lot of information and strategic direction of where they want to go and how they want to go, and proceed as well. I will just share these results in front of your screen. Looks like good news for you as well, Andrew. We'll try and make sure that we keep you busy, you and your teams busy as well. So our main focus, again, coming back to the point, is to make sure that your assessment is done, because if you are not eligible, we return your money back guaranteed in black and white as well. And we work in full transparency and trust. in this case as well, because if you make money, you will talk, to us about more people through your references, and that's how we grow our business, as well over here. Great. So just in time to, take a few questions right now. I will just stop, sharing my screen, and we will go into a Q&A session right now. Yeah. Great. So for Karthikeya and Andrew, we have a few questions that have come here as well. I will just give Mr. Varghese Babu, access as well.
Yeah.
He has a new company that's registered, in Australia, along with an Australian citizen for transportation and export. Two partners are in Qatar, but now his bank account is not possible to open a bank account there because all the partners needs to be present. Karthikeya, do you want to?
Well, actually, the bank account can be opened up easily because any director can open up the bank account. But certainly, it is not a question regarding the business migration. It is something which is for business advisory, but that's okay. I believe his question is not for 188A, so that is why I would not like to answer. But certainly, he can open up the bank account, so that's not very hard to do. He can hire an accountant in South Australia to solve that question. So that's
done. We have Mr. Amol Joshi, who's asked, in South Australia, which city can be rated as the best for real estate business? Andrew,
I would say, मेरे हिसाब से Adelaide. Andrew भी बता सकते हैं. I believe Port Lincoln or Mount Gambier is it's increasing in residential real estate. So definitely a lot of property development opportunities there. But I would like Andrew to answer that.
Yeah.
Because he's currently there.
I guess in South Australia, probably the most popular areas are what's called the eastern suburbs. So you're looking areas east of the city, which will be close to the city. So you could look at Nord, Kensington Gardens, those kind of areas. But Unley. But at the moment, whichever area you are in South Australia, the property market has grown significantly recently. So, if you do invest in property development, your opportunities to get a good return now are very good in most areas of the state now. A lot of the areas have had the property prices have gone significantly higher. So, yeah, it's in terms of development, it's a good opportunity at the moment.
thank you. We have Mr. Arun Krasto. I've shared the mic with you as well if you want to take your question. Mr. Arun, are you there? Mr. Arun has asked to please share some light on the immigration through property investment, again, specific to only property investment.
Yeah, sure. So the basically our requirement is that you either invest so you invest the $1.5 million. I'll answer it on the basis of someone who's under 55, but you invest $1.5 million into that development over the 2 or 3 years that you are running the business. I guess the main intention is of property development that the properties that you do build, if you build it with a property development company, they would be available for sale within 2 months of completion. So once you complete it, that we expect that those properties are on the market. So you put them on the real estate market within 2 months of completion. We don't allow clients to keep the properties and have them as a rental. I guess the purpose of property development for our program is that they're built and then they are sold on to people in South Australia that want to buy property.
So basically, I believe what everyone needs to understand is buy, build, and sell. All
Yeah,
of it.
correct. Yeah.
You cannot retain anything.
Very straightforward. Yeah.
So it's just straight away buy, build, and sell. And at the end of the day, if they have going concern in it, they can continue doing it. And at the end of the day, they can get the PR out of it. That's the thing.
Yeah, obviously this pathway, as all the 108 pathways, they do lead to that PR pathway. In I guess the new requirements for Home Affairs, you can only apply after 3 years, as I understand, not 2 years as it used to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
Perfect. Any other question?
Yeah. We have a question that a client is asked. I'm having a water-based paint waterproofing industry in India. Is there a scope to export, this also to Australia if I go through the 188A process and start a business there, locally as well as internationally?
We can get the documents, can do the initial assessment of it. Certainly, the business comes later on. First, we need to understand the eligibility criteria or requirement which is there, and whether the client actually satisfy everything. Then we can discuss about the business part of it. Because without even getting qualified for this visa, there is no certainly point of discussing about the business. And waterproofing industry is very big. बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है वाटरप्रूफिंग की, काफी सारी एप्लीकेशन है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. डेफिनेटली इंडिया में वो चीज चलती है तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में चलती ही है. डेफिनेटली इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट का काम हो सकता है. एग्जिम पॉलिसीज आर वेरी गुड between India and Australia. Thirdly, need to get the initial assessment report done in order to get more insight on it. And once that is done, we can definitely discuss on the business part for sure.
Great. I also have Varsha. She has said that my family owns petrol pump stations in India. If I want to have the same business in South Australia specifically, which category of visa can I apply through and it will fall under? And is this also a viable business over there?
So is this more? Oh, sorry, sorry.
No, go on, Andrew. That's okay.
No, the only thing I want to add, obviously, if the particular client would like to run, a petrol station, obviously, not whether we don't discount that, as it's still a viable business, but we've recently put new requirements that state if clients will, for example, run a cafe or one of those liquor stores, for example, or petrol stations, that we will need a bit, we'll generally more support them if they're in regional South Australia. Now, the reason why I say this, because we have an abundance of those kind of businesses in the metropolitan area. But if the particular client would like to do that, that's obviously we can still consider it. But it's more likely to come under that investment and employment option, where you would invest $300,000 and employ 3 full-time equivalent employees.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Mr. Naveen Kamra, again, Andrew, for you, has asked if we can share some information again about import-export business and what specific products are mainly in demand, that people are achieving and exporting, from there.
Yeah, sure. So previously, we've had obviously a huge demand of wine, because South Australia manufactures the most wine in Australia. But recently we've had a lot of other products coming through. So recently, through sort of our more of expansion of our program, we've had clients who, and I presume this would be more tailored to the clients in India. We've had a lot of clients exporting wheats, lentils, chickpeas, and obviously fruits and vegetables are high demand. We also have clients that export dairy, but I can understand that's a bit more difficult because of the way dairy has to be stored when it's exported. But definitely a lot of agricultural products are very popular to export at the moment, and we have a lot of them. So I would say there's a lot of opportunities to do that if the client proposes to do that.
Thank you. Mr. Kamal Shah asked, after I get my 188 visa, or I think he's also trying to ask his 888 visa, can I also be traveling, eligible to travel to, other countries, or during 118 visa, do I have to live in Australia, continuously, and can I move out of the country? So yes, you can. I can answer that, question for you. There are certain residential norms जो आपको वहाँ पे achieve करने हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर. मेरी जो टीम है आपकी इनिशियल असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट के बाद आपको ये नॉर्म्स के बारे में बात करेंगे. ये जो आपको वहाँ पे रेजिडेंशियल नॉर्म्स अचीव करना है डज नॉट नीड टू बी कंटिन्यूस स्टे. इट कैन आल्सो बी ब्रेक इन स्टेस. आप हर साल वहाँ पे आके जा सकते हो इंडिया से, बिकॉज यू आर स्टिल अ सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया and you are on a business visa over there. So yes, to answer your question, you can over there. Do we have time, Karthikeya, to take a few more questions?
Yes, we can. Just a second. Yeah, I'm
Mr.
just going through the other questions.
Go ahead.
Yep, just a second. Done. All good. I didn't get the question, so sorry. Yeah. Can you repeat it back again, please?
Mr. Sanjeev has asked a question that 118A business investment of 300,000 Australian dollars and 3 full-time employees. Do they need to be under the age of 55, the employees, or it doesn't really matter what age they are, as long as they are PR residents or citizens of Australia?
Yeah, equivalent to 3 full-time employment needs to be created at the time when he's applying for 888. So that's the thing. So we need to, it can be 2 full-time, and 2 part-time members as well. It can be over the period of time. Some people can be casual contract, because at the end of the day, you're doing a business. All the businessmen, they see the most of the employees, they come and go, but we have to justify that a lot of like the employment was generated. It cannot be, I believe if you're starting a business, you cannot limit yourself to only 3 full-time employees only. So
Correct.
it's something that you just have to keep in mind, that this is the basic criteria in order to apply for a permanent residency. It does not need to be age limited. That if the person is 55, yes, it's okay to employ him. There is no restriction in it. Investment of $300,000 in business is okay, as Andrew explained. $300,000. Andrew, also one more question. Okay, the $300,000 needs to be invested in property, plant, and equipment, right?
Yeah, so it can't be as what's called a director's loan, so it can't just be money transferred, from your personal bank account into your business account. It is required to be an investment into the business. So whether that's buying a business, buying a warehouse, buying equipment, buying a farm, buying equipment for the farm. So it's just something that is directly into the business.
Definitely. So $300,000 in property, plant, and equipment. And the other thing is, back in the day, there was a total investment required is $600,000, right? So I believe $300,000 plus $300,000 needs to be invested either for the settling funds, for the relocation funds, or something which can be a working capital for the business, or it can also be invested into residential real estate, if I'm not wrong.
So we used to have like that requirement that you stated, the injection of $600,000 of combined business and personal assets. So we've removed that now. So we've got it just directly the $300,000 into a business. So in terms of our requirements, so there's no requirement to purchase, property of another $300,000. That's obviously an option for the client if they wish to purchase property anyway, because if they're going to settle here, they may wish to buy property.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So that has helped a lot of clients. So back in the day, they were all thinking $600,000 is the investment for them, but definitely now a lot of more people will be motivated in order to go for South Australia. And I believe whoever is listening, definitely that's a very big change in Australian state nomination for 188A. So everyone needs to understand. I think we can update that as well as soon as possible.
Great.
And
any other
yeah,
questions?
I'd just like to say as well, if you obviously a lot of this information is new that's been published. So I'm happy. I did email the presentation to Sally.
Yeah.
If Sally wants to share it with, or yourselves, if you want to share it with, the people that registered, I'm happy for you all to do that.
Sure. Thank you very much. A lot of clients, Karthikeya, Andrew, Karthikeya specifically asked me that specific to their businesses, a lot of clients are into iron and steel, agriculture, and they wanted to know opportunities. So my only takeaway back to them would be that my teams will connect with all of you. I see a lot of questions specific to your business. मैं आपको क्या बोल सकता हूँ कि जो आपका business है, it is also needs to meet the state requirements and it is also specific to the state. So to give you an example, in India, अगर मैं agriculture करना चाहता हूँ, तो obviously I will not go to Mumbai and start farming. I will look at a preferential state that is towards farming, or if I'm looking at IT, or if I'm looking at any other business. So the country works very similar. So please get your initial assessment done. Assessment ke baad, we will get to know that which states you are qualifying in, and then we can talk to you about your business and the preferential business of the state. क्योंकि आज अगर आप ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, हमारे आंसर्स काफी जेनेरिक हो जाएंगे, जो आपको गूगल पे भी मिल सकता है, as well. So we also want to be specific and give you that correct, direction. To let you know, real estate is, booming in Australia, and one of the reasons why South Australia is also inviting people to come, and invest in real estate. You will also be surprised to know that, though there has been a global pandemic in the country as well, the Foreign Investor Review Board in Australia has reported an increase, of more than 2 billion Australian dollars from last year, from international buyers alone. So though there has been a pandemic, the real estate business has increased, just a key takeaway to let all of you, know as well. Some people I saw on the chat asked about education qualification. Karthikeya, you want to take that last question? Are they asking, is there any specific education qualification required?
There is no educational qualification needed. Business experience is needed, definitely, because you do need to have business or investment experience if you're going for 188B or 188C. मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा है कि जिसने बिजनेस कर रखा है इंडिया में, उसे वैसे भी बहुत ज्यादा एजुकेशन मिल चुकी है फ्रॉम स्ट्रीट. सो द थिंग इज कि आप डेफिनेटली एजुकेशन की वजह से पॉइंट्स थोड़े से कम जरूर होंगे, लेकिन बिजनेस एक्सपीरियंस और आपके बिजनेस टर्नओवर से वो पॉइंट्स को क्लेम किया जा सकता है. एंड इनिशियली आप जैसे जैसे डॉक्यूमेंट्स हमारे बीडीएम्स को सबमिट कराएंगे, वैसे वैसे उस तरीके से हम इनिशियल असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट बना के आपको बता सकते हैं. और सिंपली ऐसी चीज है कि आज की तारीख में बाकी स्टेट्स नहीं खुली हैं. साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड विक्टोरिया इज ओपन एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, एंड साउथ ऑस्ट्रेलिया is motivating people to invest $300,000 and get your nomination, right? So that's the first thing. Only state to give the property development for this. South Australia is going to boom in real estate, most affordable city. All the immigration South Australia and government of South Australia is more than happy to support the individuals who are coming in. I've seen a lot of business 188A visa holders who were continuously keep in touch with government of South Australia to understand if they're not understanding the tax obligation or some laws in here and there. Because sometimes if you're going in property development, you also have to understand what does council wants, right? If you're not understanding the certifiers process, if you're not understanding how many project managers and the other people you need to have in that project, then it's something that government keeps on helping you out with it. We are also there. It's not something that Phoenix cannot help you out with it. Phoenix always takes pride in helping out people for either for property advisory or for the business advisory. But everything that we discussed today, assumption based, right? So something which the client will be happy to do in the next coming 2 years, we are discussing today. If we think about a business which is going to happen today, let's say we believe that the wine industry is very lucrative at this point of time. But what happens in 2023 if the wine industry is not that much profitable, right? I don't think so that the government will force anyone to go for that business, because if it is not feasible for the client to do it, then there is no point to do it, right? At the end of the day, the person needs to invest that money, create a going concern business, employ three equivalent to 3 full-time employment, and keep on doing it, make more profit, and inject more capital into South Australia. So that's the thing.
Yeah. Just a few takeaways again from that is काफी लोग ने मुझसे ये भी पूछा है कि मेरे को पैसे कितने टाइम में वहां पे डालना है। तो जब तक आपकी वीजा की अप्रूवल नहीं आएगी 12 से 15 महीनों तक, तब तक 188A के अंदर आपको वहां पे 1 रुपये का पैसे भी नहीं डालना है। वीजा अप्रूवल करने के बाद एज अ प्रोसेस ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड एंड वी सीम्स पीपल बीइंग सक्सेसफुल, हम आपको वहां पे इनवाइट करते हैं। आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया 15 महीनों के बाद जब आपका वीजा आ जाएगा, आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आएंगे, हम आपके लिए वहां पे एक्सप्लोरेशन ट्रिप्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जो हम आपको वहां पे सारी चीजें दिखाएंगे। एंड्रू और उनकी टीम से भी हम आपको मिलाएंगे वहां पे डायरेक्टली ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, आप उनसे मिलेंगे। हम आपको ऑल्सो वहां पे बिजनेसेस के साथ इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे। आप खुद वहां पे जाके ये बिजनेसेस देखेंगे, ये सक्सेसफुल है कि नहीं, ये क्यों बेचने चाहते हैं, लास्ट 2-3 साल से उनके रेवेन्यूज क्या है, फ्यूचर प्रोजेक्शंस क्या है, कितने एम्प्लॉयमेंट्स है, अगर आपको टेक ओवर करना है। ओनली वंस यू आर सेटिस्फाइड विद दैट, फिर आप वो बिजनेस टेक ओवर करके आप अपना पैसे डालने शुरू कर सकते हैं। आपको एट वो टाइम वापस पूरा पैसे डालने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको टाइम मिलता है उसके लिए, और हम आपको वो पूरा गाइडेंस देंगे और साथ में साथ चलेंगे आपके साथ, क्योंकि हमारा और आपका रिश्ता खाली ये 12 महीने के लिए नहीं है, करीबन 4-5 साल तक है, जब तक आपको वो वीजा मिल जाएगा। So hence, we will always be there as a guiding force throughout that process. And like I said, we have an office in Australia, we have an office in India, so we will continuously keep providing you that guidance. आप also जो पैसा ऑस्ट्रेलिया में डालोगे, आप अपने ही अकाउंट इंडिया से अपने ही अकाउंट ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आप वो पैसे वहां पे ट्रांसफर करोगे, और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आप ही के अकाउंट से वो बिजनेसेस में जाएंगे as well. So the entire control of money is with you. There is no fourth party, third party, or anybody involved, in your funds. It is coming from your account in India to your account in Australia. वहाँ पे कोई जुगाड़ वुगाड़ की चीज नहीं है. We work in all ethics and in full transparency as well. We have fully functioning offices in India, across India, and in Australia as well. And our company is built on a lot of value and trust as well. And that's how we, move ahead as well. So I thank you all, once again. And just to conclude, thanks, Andrew, for your time on a Sunday again. Thanks to all the audience and clients who came again, on Sunday to attend. And I hope it was informative. A lot of you who have your questions still not answered, please do not worry. My teams will get in touch with you, by today and tomorrow, to get all your questions answered as well. Also, thanks, Sally, for your time and coming in, today for this webinar. It gave us a lot of insights, and I hope to see, a lot of closures happening soon, and we'll send all of them through your way, Andrew, as well. Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone who came and listened. It's been very nice to meet you virtually, and hopefully one day we'll get to meet in person.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Ali.
Have a nice Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.